Yo guys, what's good? Prime Arcanine here, back again with week 12 of Marshadow's Backyard Brawl. It's been a while, but we're gonna get this series done one way or another, so let's get straight into things. Our opponents for this week are the New Zealand Noiverns. They've got Aegislash, Braziken, Shinotic, Sableye, Mega Gallade, Tyranitar, Braviary, Empoleon, Alolan Ninetales, Noivern, and Silvally. Immediate threats that I see here are Aegislash, because it's easy for it to set up, and it's got King's Shield, which can really mess up my Pokemon's attack. Sableye, Prankster, very annoying. Mega Gallade hits like a truck, I know from experience, that's my boy right there. Tyranitar, always a worry with its Sandstream, it can set up with Dragon Dance, also hits very hard. I guess Noivern can also be considered a threat because of its very strong Hurricanes and Boom Bursts, especially of its choice specs. One thing that we don't have to worry too much about, I think, is a Psychic type move on Mega Gallade, so maybe Heracross can take it on. But everything else should be standard procedure to deal with. Empoleon's probably there for Rocks and Defog. Ninetales could be there to set up the Aurora Veil, but I'm sure we'll be able to make sure that doesn't happen. Silvally, not too worried about. Shinotic, really not much of a threat. Yeah, interesting draft. Doesn't look too challenging to go up against though. Our first Pokemon is Heracross with the Heracronite and Moxie. It's got Earthquake, Close Combat, Pin Missiles specifically for Gallade, because it can one-shot it guaranteed, and Rock Blast, in case we go up against Ninetales or Noivern, which ideally wouldn't happen. It's got max investments in attack, 200 in speed, and 56 in HP, just to make it that little bit more bulky, and its Jolly nature to at least still boost its speed a significant amount. Then we have Incineroar with the heavy duty boots and Intimidate. It's got Will-O-Wisp, Flare Blitz, Knock Off, and Earthquake. Will-O-Wisp is to nullify any of the potentially strong attackers that might try to set up on us, like Aegislash and Gallade and Tyranitar. Knock Off, Stab, knocking off items, also to get rid of Sableye's leftovers, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna have leftovers. Yeah, the Flare Blitz and Earthquake for damage. It's got max investment in HP, got 200 in defense as well as being impish to get some extra bolstering in defense, and then got 56 in attack to do a little bit more damage. Next we have Hatterene with the Life Orb and Magic Bounce. It's got Trick Room, Dazzling Gleam, Mystical Fire, and Calm Mind, with max investment in HP and special attack being quiet as well, so bringing down that speed and upping that special attack. Ideally, if we can get Hatterene set up in its Trick Room, it can take on pretty much this entire drop. It's mainly there right now to take on Sableye in ideal situations. I rate it can take on Empoleon, it can take on Tyranitar if it wanted to, but in its Trick Room, that's where it will thrive, if we can get it to that stage. Next we have Milotic with the leftovers and Marvel Scale. It's got Scald, Ice Beam, Recover, and Toxic, with max investments in HP and defense. We went Bold Nature as well to get everything that we can out of that defense. Milotic is there to be our probably best switch in besides Incineroar on the plethora of physical attackers in this team. And we're pretty much banking on getting a Skull Burn on these attackers, because I know they're going to try and set up on Milotic. It also takes on Sableye pretty well, it can neutralize Noivern easily. And then we also have Toxic, because I know Sableye is going to have Recover, so we can beat it out in the stalling game, if it comes down to that. Hopefully it doesn't. Next we have Rhyperior with the Citrus Berry and Solid Rock. We've got Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Stone Edge, and Stealth Rock with max investments in HP and attack. Adamant as well to get as much out of that attack stat as possible. Rhyperior is our very heavy hitter of this team. It's got Heavy Slam specifically for Alolan Ninetales, so that even if it sets up the Aurora Veil, that thing is dead. We don't want that thing being any more trouble than it already could be. We may not be able to stop it from getting the Veil up, but we can at least get it like out of the match without too much of a problem. I don't think he'll see Heavy Slam coming if it comes down to it. Then we have our Shifu with the Choice Scarf and Unseen Fist, our Close Combat, Surging Strikes, Aqua Jet and Ice Punch, with max investments in HP and speed, Adamant Nature as well to get everything out of that attack. Basically just our Fast Sweeper, Ice Punch to take care of Noivern. Surging Strikes hits everything pretty hard. We've got Close Combat as well for Empoleon, and I guess the rest of the gang. Not gonna be really looking to fight Aegislash, but I think Surging Strike could still do a pretty decent job against it. Okay, so unsurprisingly, a lot of the threats that we pointed out initially are here. Thankfully Ninetales isn't here, so we don't have to worry about any Veils, but besides that, it's not looking fantastic. But we have prepared for everything here, so we'll just have to see how things go. Okay, that battle turned out to be a lot longer than I initially planned, but we got the win in the end, and that's what matters. We did miss some opportunities and made some misplays that dragged the battle on for longer, but we managed to preserve most of our mons. Milotic was an absolute unit for us, tanked so many hits, got some important burns and toxics. It did an absolute job on this team. Took out Noiverns as well. And Sableye proved to be as irritating as I expected, but we did get a bit lucky in the end with the crit Earthquake, but I'm not complaining. We were in a good position either way. Yeah, it was a very good match, and I'm glad I was able to come up with the victory. That leaves us with 8 wins and 4 losses in our 12 games for the season, and that is just enough to secure us a place in the playoffs. It didn't look like we were going to make it at some stage, but we managed to put on a nice run. I think 5 wins in a row, and we managed to find our way to the playoffs. It's only going to get tougher from here, but I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. That's all from me. See you next time.